Hi, I'm Kelly Vaughn, and welcome to Inside Indy. And today we are having a little Thanksgiving dinner, so to speak. We're talking to the folks from the Mozel Sanders Foundation, and they are Amora Scott, who is Director of Fund Development, and then we have Dawn Jones, who is Head of Marketing and Public Relations. She's the Director of PR and Marketing for Mozel Sanders Foundation. Welcome to Inside Indy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. It's that time of year. We're probably what is the date of Thanksgiving this year? Because it kind of moves around. What is the official Thanksgiving date?
26th.
26th of November. So it is fast approaching.
And it's on a Thursday.
Huh?
On a Thursday.
It's on a Thursday. That much I got. That much I do know. But I would say you're starting early, but you are, gosh, I mean, this is going to be an interesting Thanksgiving as an interesting Christmas in light of the COVID-19 pandemic. And so that's what we want to focus on for this year. And so we're going to start off talking to Dawn about how is this year going to be different than years past?
Very different. We began our Plan B probably talking about, I'd say probably in May, trying to determine, okay, how can we still feed? Because we know there's still going to be a need. And we know that we still have an obligation to fulfill. We've been doing this for 49 years. And so we didn't want the pandemic to be able to stop us from accomplishing what we needed to accomplish. So we started meeting back in May, coming up with multiple different scenarios, because typically we're at Butler. That's our main hub at Atherton Hall. We start bringing everything in on Wednesday. We start cooking at 3:00 on Thursday. But the proximity of that location and the volunteers, and not outside of having everybody self-quarantine for 2 weeks before they come in there, which is just not feasible, that location just wasn't going to work. So we started coming up with different ideas on how we wanted to actually implement this year. And what we decided was we would reach out to local restaurants, because a lot of restaurants are closed on Thanksgiving. But we also know that the Hoosier mentality is always to help and give everybody a hand. So we figured we'd start reaching out to commercial restaurants to see if they would be willing to cook the food or bring the food up to temperature for us. And then we would use our volunteers to get that food from the location to Butler, and then from Butler to have our volunteers take them to do a contactless drop at the individual homes of people that are signing up. We'll also have the majority of our satellite locations. We typically had over 30 every single year. Majority of our satellite locations are still on board to be able to have meals as well. So that's kind of what we're doing. So right now, the appeal is if you're a commercial restaurant in the city of Indianapolis and want to contribute, we definitely would love to hear from you.
Okay. Now, can we talk about the restaurants you have involved so far?
I think Amora can speak to those.
Well, we are talking to many of them. And I would hate to just kind of say the names right now that have, because we're just now getting a commitment. And so I would love to say them, but I can't.
Okay. Because I just thought you want to give a little shout out. That's all.
I know, I do. Okay. But I can give a shout out to Michael's Soul Food, downtown Indianapolis. I can.
Oh yes, in fact, I was meeting with Romeo yesterday. Is it Gerson? Yeah, we just met yesterday regarding they're about to launch a television show called Talent Republic, kind of an American Idol deal. But he does so much in the community, and so how is he partnering with Mozel Sanders Foundation?
What he's doing is he's going to open his kitchen also for us to be able to participate and keep the food going for the Thanksgiving. But he also does a lot during the week for the Mozel Sanders Foundation. Can you speak about that, Dawn?
Yeah, sure. We were fortunate to get one of the COVID grants. And so we partnered with Michael's Soul Food Kitchen to be able to feed seniors throughout the week. So we've been doing that for probably, 3 months.
Yeah.
And so
Okay.
we're feeding seniors throughout the week. So, we provide, contribute because we're partnered with Gleaners and Midwest Food Bank. So we contribute the food, and then, those funds help to be able to feed those. And so we're feeding on the east and the west side. So that partnership has been very, very fruitful. We're grateful for that partnership, and definitely look forward to doing more things with them.
Okay. Okay. So if someone is watching and they want to be a part of that, is there a number they can call or is that set up through your community centers? How do they get access, the elderly, to those meals that are being prepped at Michael's?
They should send an email, if possible, to info@mozelsanders.org
Okay.
if they're interested.
Okay. Okay. Great. So again, we'll give a shout out to Romeo of Michael's downtown. And he does such great work in the community. And I know that he's, it's been a challenge, as you mentioned, for so many restaurants. It's one thing, it's a challenge for the Mozel Sanders Foundation, but restaurants, a lot of them have been struggling or just opening up. And so this is an excellent opportunity for them to be active and to give back to the community as well. So we love that. I want to talk about one of your other efforts to feed the hungry in our community. You have a barbecue sauce, right?
Yeah. Let me get it out for you.
It's good. It's very
There's
good.
you, Vanna White. Go ahead and tell us about that, Vanna.
Yeah. Well, the name of this barbecue sauce is Mozel Sanders, and it is smooth and spicy barbecue sauce. And what we did is we brought to market this barbecue sauce, and we thought about exactly how Paul Newman did it with Newman-owned salad dressing, and he's got all kinds of products on the shelf. And so we just said, well, let's do this. Let's get out a barbecue sauce, get it on the shelves. And so when it's sold, 100% of the profit goes to the Mozel Sanders Foundation. And
Wow.
that has been, we've got on 10 shelves so far. And then a restaurant downtown Indianapolis, Iozo's, is a beautiful restaurant. And they have made it a dish. I think it's spare ribs. They've made this beautiful dish. And when it's sold to their customers coming in to dine, they're giving the profit off of that dish to the Mozel Sanders Foundation. And they're
Nice.
selling the barbecue sauce too. And so, but 10 other stores have it on the shelf. And can I mention them?
Yeah, now you can mention the store.
Okay, let's go. Okay, I said Iozo's, and then I'm looking at my website, and then Kaplander's Fresh Catch Seafood Market, and he has one. Yeah, he's at Shadeland Avenue, and then has the one in Whitestown also,
Okay.
and then Sullivan Hardware. They have 3 locations.
Okay, I thought you were going to say Sullivan Steakhouse, but we're going to the
I
hardware.
know. Yeah, but if you go in there at Sullivan Hardware, you will see that they have all the cookers. They got a beautiful little restaurant there too, and but they have it on their shelves, and they are at Keystone Avenue, and they are on Penn, and then they're up at Cicero, and then from there, there's a butcher shop called Joe's Butcher Shop, and it's up in Carmel, and he has it on his shelf. And
Nice.
Joe's,
Okay.
yeah. And then Georgetown Market.
The health food place?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's on the shelf there. And then Goose the Market, downtown Indianapolis. Wonderful restaurant. And I'm sorry, it's a store is what it is. It's a butcher shop. And but it's on the shelf. And then Tasteful Times is in Geist, and it's on Oleo Road. And then that's it.
Okay, but I'm sure more to come. So is that what your goal is? Is what are you aiming to as far as the number of stores that would carry the barbecue sauce from Mozel Sanders?
I would really love to see all the stores to open up at some shelf space, and for everyone to just really have to purchase this for the fact of knowing that it does help with the funding, with the feeding the hungry. And so my goal is to get it on the shelves, all of them that I can, And I'm working towards the supermarkets, also talking to them.
Okay.
And
Okay. So you're eventually targeting Kroger, Meijer, Walmart to get
yeah,
it on the shelves because the more people
needlers,
Mhm.
needlers.
Mhm.
Yes.
Target's enough. We just kind of
I haven't
put
got
it
there
out
yet.
there to give
Yeah.
them word that
Yeah.
warning that you're headed their way. So.
Yeah. There's some great stores out there, and they all want to help. They do.
So how's it taste?
Oh, wow. I tell you what, it's delicious. It really is. I mean, it's the best seller. It really is.
Okay.
And I put it up against any barbecue sauce.
Okay. Okay. Now, say somebody can't make it to one of those stores you mentioned, though we do want them to go there. But can you just order
Yeah.
it? Is there a way to order it?
Yeah, on our website, we have a website that is designated to this, and it's Mozel Sanders BBQ.com.
Oh, okay, that's easy. Okay, we'll put that on the screen as well. Mozel Sanders BBQ.com. Okay.
And you will find the addresses also of the different stores on that website, and you will find that you can order also.
Okay. Okay. So we're going to be talking more about the Mozel Sanders Foundation. Again, folks, we need your help, especially if you're a restaurant out there, because this year they're not able to cook the food, prepare the food as they typically do at Butler University in light of COVID-19 and the need to social distance. So they're reaching out to area restaurants, and those individual restaurants can do what they normally do at Butler, and they have volunteers who will deliver those meals out to people in the community. And so we're going to talk about more of that effort and how many people we're going to reach this year when we come back. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back right after this.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
It's a beautiful day out here, sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it, let's go.
And we're back here on Inside Indy. And again, joining us are Don Jones, Marketing and PR Director for the Mozel Sanders Foundation, and Amora Scott, who's the Director of Fund Development. And we've been talking about their annual Thanksgiving Day dinner that so many of us have grown accustomed to. It's almost like, Christmas tree is to Christmas, Mozel Sanders is to Thanksgiving Day. And typically you feed how many people, Dawn, each year?
In the past, we've done upwards of 40,000. And that was when pretty much we were doing the majority of it. I think 2 years ago, we topped out, and that's the max that we could really do just with the volunteers and numbers and the people. Last year, it dipped a little because there were so many other organizations that were feeding as well. So we did about 20,000 last year. The goal this year is just because of everything and our constraints of not being able to be in the kitchen that we can normally crank out 20 or 40,000 meals. So we're targeting to try and do at least 10,000 this year.
So how do you all, and I'd like to hear from both you and Amora about this, how do you feel about that in terms, at least the way it looks now, that you could just be doing 10,000? And I think I heard Stephanie say we'd love to do 20. So right. How do you feel about that?
It hurts. It hurts because we know there's a need. There's always a need every single year. The phone calls coming in, and I don't really necessarily feel the phone calls, but I'm getting emails through the website, messages to the website, just heart-wrenching a need, and to not be able to fulfill that because of the pandemic, it's just really, it's, I think it's been difficult. I think Amora, you would agree with me. It's been difficult for all of us this year in trying to figure out a way to be able to address the need, but still keep, our families safe, all the volunteers safe, because we have typically about 2,000 volunteers that help every single year.
Mm.
So it's difficult, but we know, we knew we couldn't shut down and not do it. So our goal is, let's find a way to be able to do it the best way we can to keep everybody safe, but also still provide a need. So,
okay. So what do you think, Amora?
I love what Don just said, because that's what we've been doing. We've been working almost every week, talking, doing Zoom with each other on the team to make for sure that we are figuring it out. And because the doors can open, we are knocking on the door of big commercial restaurants, commercial schools, commercial hotels, asking them how if we can use their kitchen. And we're getting some answers back. But we are putting forth as much effort as we possibly can and really thinking through this. How do we make this happen? Because we do know, just like Don said, there are so many people that need that. It gives hope, that needs that dinner. That dinner gives really a hope and a true message of, we care about you.
Wow, that's very powerful, very powerful. So now let's talk about say there's a restaurant or 2 or 5 or 20 people who are listening right now, or they know someone who owns a restaurant. What does that restaurant have to have to qualify to be able to serve or to prep, and maybe go over exactly what they have to do, so they'll know what their level of involvement would be?
That restaurant would be contacted by our head chef, Cullen Simpson, and they would go over the requirements. Essentially, if they're a commercial restaurant, they're already have staff that's already kind of gone through the qualifications for the staff to be there and healthy and not transmitting, and following their health guidelines. And then we would have the food shipped to them. They would bring the food up to temperature and then, put it in the containers. And then we would have our volunteers, typically, our volunteers are usually FedEx and UPS drivers. They would bring that back to Butler, and then we would disperse that to the volunteers to go take to the individual homes or to the satellite centers.
Okay.
So it's a commercial kitchen. They qualify.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you mentioned schools. Any other places that we're not thinking of that would be set up to accommodate?
We've knocked on the door of some really good hotels around here in Indianapolis, and we should be getting some answers back soon. And so because they have conventions at these hotels, so they know how to put together some food. They've got nice kitchens. So
you're right. They are so, and I'm going to shout out to a couple of restaurants just who I frequent. Lincoln Square would be. So I'm calling them out. Barbecue Heaven. Ron Jones, we're calling on you. King Ribs. We got Sherry and her husband. The Williams family. So just off the top of my head, I was thinking of some people who I know personally that we could maybe reach out to and get them involved.
And they can throw some ribs on this too.
There you go. Just order them plain and put that barbecue sauce right on top of the Mozel Sanders Foundation. So let's talk about the barbecue sauce again. If folks can see it again, Amora, and in case a few people are just tuning in, tell us about the barbecue sauce and how it's helping feed the hungry for the Mozel Sanders Foundation.
We are really working towards this, of getting this out everywhere. And we don't want people to not donate to Mozel. Of course, we have to have that donation, of course. But to bring forth the funding of a steady funding is what we're trying to achieve. And we're starting out with barbecue sauce. And as time goes on, we'll see if there's other products, food products, that would work also for this. To bring forth the same way of bringing in a steady revenue it is we are non-for-profit, so it is a steady funding coming into our non-for-profit.
Okay, so what we're asking you to do, folks, if you're out and about at one of those locations that Amora mentioned, pick up a bottle or two. This is a charitable cause. Go ahead and get a case. They probably got a case there in the back. And then, you know what? Give those out for the holiday season. Put that in the stuff for a stuffing stocker, or where you got that bottle of wine for, the holidays, for the Christmas holiday seasons. Go ahead and get all of those and send them, give them to people. And then they're going to know. Maybe have a little card made up that says this is a gift. And by giving this to you, I'm helping to feed the hungry. A lot of people, that's what they do. They give the contribution to some organization and say, this is my gift this year. I help someplace else. But this way, you're actually giving them something and you're helping the Mozel Sanders Foundation. So we encourage you to do that. The information is on the screen where you can reach out to Amora or go to the website or even call us at Channel 40, 317-773-5050. And we can hook you up with that barbecue sauce. Because I know Amora is going to drop a case off to the station at some point.
And I'm going to hire you to be the marketing on this.
I don't think Don, well, for you, I don't think Don would appreciate that, but no.
No.
I was like, wait a minute, I'm still here. So Don, I'm going to let you close us out with your message to the community about Mozel Sanders Foundation. And you know what we haven't talked about, guys, is, people can just give.
They can just give. Absolutely.
Right. So Dawn, how can people give this year? Dawn's your restaurant person, right? Or your PR person, because I know you're fund development, or either one of you. Let's talk about giving, how people can give if they want to just write a check or call. What are ways to give?
Okay, there are 4 ways to give. They can go to our website, and we have links. And actually on our website, which is mozelsanders.org, you can get right smack in the middle of the page after you get past the history is all the ways to give. So they can give through the website. They can text to give. They can text Mozel, Mozel, at 231-3131, and they can give that way. They can go snail mail, which is sending it to 709 North Belmont Avenue here in Indianapolis, and it's 46229. And then, or 222, sorry. And then they can also, let me see, that's way. And then also another way to give, and this is something that we've been sharing, but if you shop on Amazon on a regular basis, that would be me. You can go to smile.amazon.com, put in Mozel Sanders Foundation, and there is an extra L, so it's Mozell Foundation Inc. when the person set it up. And everything you purchase through smile.amazon.com, same site, it's just a percentage of that comes back to the foundation. So especially if people are doing the shopping for the holidays, I just went ahead and set it. And whenever I purchase anything, it's on there, and it's been on there for 2 years. And then it lets you know, hey, this money went back to your organization. This is how much money was contributed to the organization from your purchases. And it's a no-brainer. So that's definitely a way to be able to give.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you both coming on the show to talk about the special needs for this year regarding restaurants. Again, folks, if you know of a restaurant that could get involved, or if you are an owner of a restaurant, please contact them and let them know that you'd be able to participate in this year's efforts to feed the hungry throughout our city. Again, typically 40,000, 20,000 people. We may only be able to feed 10,000 at a time, when the need is probably never been greater in recent times.
You're right.
So in light of COVID-19, but we appreciate you just being soldiers in this war on this virus, and making sure that people in our community are fed. Appreciate what you're doing. So, all right, Amora Scott, Director of Fund Development, and Dawn Jones, who's Marketing and PR Director for the Mozel Sanders Foundation. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Kelly.
On Inside Indy. Bye-bye.
I have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day One man's dream of racial equity and harmony. Unity, seeing people as people, created in the image of God, is central to the Christian message. Acts records, "From one man he made every nation of men." God did this so men would seek him. Celebrate the creation, celebrate the vision, and celebrate each other as God celebrates you. With this faith, I will go out with you and transform dark yesterdays into bright tomorrows. With this faith, we will be able to achieve this new day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing with the Negroes in the spiritual of all, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where do cats go on vacation? New York.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, yes, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work. Thanks.
You, your plumber.
Breathe right into your foot.
Your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker.
On your left.
Your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot. Your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.